Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Megan of Missy Magley Cosplay, and I would love it if today you joined me as I attend Toronto Comicon 2024. It was a wonderful event, the perfect opportunity to catch up with old friends, make new ones, debut a few new costumes, and simply soak up the amazing atmosphere. So, let's get into it. For a cosplayer, prepping for a convention begins long before the actual event. In the process of designing and making all my costumes, I try to ensure that I don't con crunch, purely for the sake of my sanity. However, there is still a lot to do in order to make sure that my costumes, and the costumes I make for my handler, who's my dad, are looking their best. So I'll show you a few highlights. Here you can see me pressing one of these costumes, in this case the Luke Skywalker I made for my handler. And perhaps you noticed, I have a new iron. The steam setting makes working with linen so much easier, and I also used my trusty steamer while the garment was on the dress form. Keeping Selena shiny is also essential, and so here you see me cleaning the fingerprints off the PVC with a damp cloth before drying it to a shine. And finally, charging electronic components, such as Hathor's Karakesh, is also important. If you'd like, you can even see how I made this ribbon device. Check out that video in the description. My handler also stopped by for hairstyling as a part of his final wardrobe test. Hey Himmel, where are you going? Are you going on a quest?
Absolutely.
He's going on a quest. We walked down to the local park for a few impromptu pics as a part of a final check on wearability. Looking great, Dad! The convention began on Friday, which meant that the first order of business on that day was to put myself in some makeup that was hopefully suitable for the Queen of the Gods and the Mother of all Gods, Hathor, from Stargate SG-1. It won't surprise anyone that I've made another Stargate cosplay. I think it's reasonably obvious that I like Stargate, you know, just a little bit. I've also been asked several times what my makeup process is, so I thought I'd show you that this time, though you'll only be seeing it for Hathor and Selena and not for Ventress, for reasons that will become obvious later on. Yikes. The first order of business was to put on a wig cap. Because my hair is quite long, getting it under the cap can be challenging. I usually use at least 2 wig caps in order to contain my hair, and sometimes straighten it to make it a little less bulky. This time I also experimented with using a little Pros-Aid to help keep the caps in place under the wig. After that, I moved on to my eye makeup. I started with an eyeshadow primer, which I applied with my finger. After that, I used a fluffy brush to lay down a transition shade from my MAC palette in order to allow for easier blending, and then went in with my main shades. For Hathor, this was silver blending into black, both from a Lancome palette I've had for ages and that I will use until it truly has no more life left in it. I also added a little bit of white at the corners of my eyes to brighten them, and after blending everything in, including under my lower lashes, tightlined all the way around my eyes with a NYX waterproof pencil for a smoky, Gouldy look. Then I used a NYX liquid liner to give myself a little wing on each eye. After this, I color corrected my apocalyptic eye bags, trying to remove as much of the darkness as possible before putting on my foundation. I always use liquid foundation as the base and apply it with my fingers because I find this the most sanitary and least wasteful of the product. After blending it for a while, I used a lighter foundation shade, this time with my fingers in a beauty blender, to highlight under my eyes, as well as my chin, my forehead, and the bridge of my nose. After mascara-ing my lower lashes, I attended to my brows. For this, I always use an angled brush, and when I'm cosplaying a redhead, red eyeshadow from my trusty NYX Brights palette. I simply followed the natural shape of my brow, blending as I went. Subsequently, I applied my blush, which is Burt's Bees, with a big fluffy brush and then highlighted with Ben Nye's Lumiere Luxe powder. As I often do, I used a little highlighter on my body, too, highlighting my collarbones and my shoulders, before carving out a little depth using a Lancome bronzer. And say hello to the saddest eyelash glue ever. Its tip snapped clean off, so I secured the top with tape instead because I'm not throwing it out when I can still use it. And I didn't film my lipstick, but oh well. Okay, so the Hathor makeup is done. My apologies for the terrible camera angles. I am not good at filming this sort of thing. So for the first time, I actually decided to experiment with gluing my wig cap down with Pros-Aid, because Pros-Aid is a wonderful product and I really like that, and I've never done that before, so we'll see how it holds up. So I'm gonna put on my wig, I'm gonna put on my costume, and then I'm gonna get ready to go. Yay! Have you noticed I even did my nails like Hathor? And I matched my toenails too. Yeah, it's quite the look. It's quite the look. It's like Hathor at home sort of look. We are just about getting ready to go to day 1 of Toronto Comicon. This is a Friday. What time is it? It is 11:15. The show actually starts at 10, but nobody wants to be there right for opening, especially not on the first day, because tomorrow we are going to have a very, very busy day. So you can just see me fussing with my wig here. Hey Himmel, how are you feeling? He's looking kind of Jaffa-y, isn't he? Tek Mate, Master Braytak! Apple must have currency. We must have currency. So we are here at just about ready to head into Toronto Comicon of day 1. We've already seen a couple of cosplayers making their way, so kind of excited to see what the cosplay scene is going to be like. Can't wait to get in there. Myself, ourselves, and the man with the crown of marble are going to go hit up Toronto Comicon day 1. Also, fun thing, people are asking us for directions to the convention. I don't understand why they think we're going to the convention. What would give them this idea? It's a mystery. We have successfully arrived at Toronto Comicon day 1. As you can see, it's actually already pretty busy. And I've said this before and I will say it again. I don't know why I'm shocked when it is busy on the first day. We have Himmel here looking very, very noble. For Himmel, how are you feeling? He's feeling old. He's feeling so old. Who are you looking for, Himmel? After arriving at the convention, Hathor was reunited with some very familiar faces. See, this is the thing about having cosplay friends, is that they just end up photographed like so much. There's no way around it. Many thanks to Chris for letting me study his flawless Jack O'Neill in detail, and for sharing all his amazing Stargate stories with me. Also for not, chucking me into the nearest cryogenic tank. If you know, you know. It is sometime after 1. I don't know what time after 1. Upstairs is insane. I was planning on doing some shopping today, but I'm not sure that's going to happen ever because it is just a bottleneck out there. So, thinking of doing the cosplay red carpet again, let me just show you what this thing looks like. We also met up with Greg for the red carpet, which is always a highlight of any convention, and it was so nice to see him. But Jack, Daniel, and Hathor, talk about a Jerry Springer type family reunion. It is, I don't know what time. I don't really know where I am or who I am. We have now just made it onto the show floor to see if we can do some shopping. I have a sense I'm not going to make it very long on the show floor because the show floor is what the show floor is. It is absolutely packed, which of course, we expect it to be packed. I think it's just every year it gets bigger and that surprises me. But anyway, it's been a good day so far. You can hear my voice is giving out because I have been talking very loudly, especially very excitedly to my Stargate buddies. Tomorrow is going to be nuts. I'm already tired from it, so yay! So I found out who I just did an interview with. Who did I just do an interview with?
We're the
Oops. That's probably my cue to go. Bye. That is the end of day 1 of, I almost called it Fan Expo, Toronto Comicon. We had a great time, notwithstanding the accidental interview I just gave. Everyone else knows what that is, but I didn't. They seemed really, really nice. And you know what? I'm all about body positivity, so day 1 over. Sorry, there was a photography moment. We're gonna call it a day here. We're gonna head home. Luckily, I don't have to do much with this. That's just going back on the dress form, and then it'll be ready for tomorrow. And I'm going to set everything up for Ventress. Yeah, it was great. I'm really tired already. This is, I think, the most tired I've ever been on the first day, so that bodes poorly for tomorrow. But we'll see you then. Bye! Good evening. It is Friday night, and I'm just getting everything set up for tomorrow morning because I will have to be up very early. So what you can see that I've got here are my 2 airbrushes. I've got my original airbrush. That's a 0.3 millimeter nozzle, so its spray is far more concentrated. It's a much finer spray, but you can still paint, you know, your face and your head with that. It's just that if you're doing lots of body painting, it's really, really slow. I hadn't done it with this before. It's just extremely, extremely slow. Then under here, I have my Poshy Millennium. This has a 0.7 millimeter nozzle. I really like this. This is a really great product. I, for a while, used a spray gun that also had a 0.7 millimeter nozzle, but I didn't really like it. I have my drop sheet. This is an old sheet. I find a fabric drop sheet really works great. I have my compressor here. It's the AS186. And I could not be happier with it. This is a little powerhouse, and so far it has done the trick beautifully. I have it hooked up to my air hose, all ready to go. I have my paint here. This is the one that was already opened. You can see, you just shake it up because it does phase separate. I've got a second one here, and I actually have a third one just in reserve. This is 99% ethanol. With alcohol paint, the only thing that shifts it is 99% ethanol. So this is 99% food grade ethanol. Drinking it would be an extreme mistake, but I say food grade just because this means that it's body safe as well. Very occasionally I will have to thin the makeup. That's pretty rare, but more than anything I use this to clean the airbrush and to remove clogs that appear. Then I have, which I'll be hauling into the bathroom tomorrow morning, I have a turbo fan, and you can see it's actually got white paint in it from last time I painted. I find a fan is very important because, first of all, it helps the paint dry, but it also keeps the air moving, because even though technically these are all FDA approved paints, I still don't like the idea of breathing in any more aerosol than I have to, so this keeps the air circulating. It stops it from, you know, clouding up around my face. And I do also, unless I'm painting my face, I do also wear a mask while I'm doing it. That also helps reduce the smell. So yeah, I've got my fan, I've got my compressor, my paints, my drop sheet ready to go, my 2 airbrushes, and I'm gonna go to bed now because I'm really tired. It's not even 10, but I gotta rest up. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And on Saturday morning, my alarm went off and I obligingly rolled out of bed and started to paint and paint and paint. Good morning and welcome to the madness. It is about 7:30 a.m. I have been up for 2.5 hours and I've been painting for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Things have gone okay so far. I'm just about to apply my bald cap. As you can see from the back here, I've got my hair in a low ponytail, and I actually do have it braided because a braid will help things stay in place, because as you can see, I do have a lot of hair. It's also been straightened because I want to keep it as close to my head as possible. A couple things have happened. You can see that there's actually been quite a lot of flaking on this arm of the paint job, and a little bit on this arm. I'm not overly concerned about that because I'm pretty sure I can fix it. I am going to put on the bald cap, and then as the bald cap is drying and setting in place, then I'll go in and correct this paint job, and then I'll go in and paint the bald cap and do the beauty makeup. It's still gonna be a couple of hours. So far it's been 2 and a bit, which is better than it was before, but it is still a lot. So I am trying to pace myself, trying to take it at a good pace so that I don't get overwhelmed. So I'll see you on the other side. So as you can see, the bald cap is now on and unpainted. That took me an hour just to apply the bald cap. I haven't even painted it yet, and it took an hour. This is why the makeup takes this long. Applying a bald cap, even for a professional makeup artist, is a challenge, and it just takes a long time. I have started to use a little secret weapon. It's a Canadian secret weapon, which is duct tape. There's a trick I learned from drag queens because they'll often take their wig cap down, and I was like, why couldn't I take my bald cap down? So in the spot where you can't actually see it, I use duct tape to help keep it down because duct tape is pretty secure. The adhesive I've found I'm not allergic to, and as long as you don't tape it too tight, you can still breathe and swallow and everything. So the duct tape actually makes a huge difference. I'm gonna start painting now and hope that everything goes well. In the process of putting on my bald cap, you can see that the paint flaked off here. I'm not overly concerned. I'm just gonna repaint that part because I'd really rather spend a little bit of extra time and have a good paint job than just kind of muddle through. All right, let's keep painting. So fun stuff, something that's never happened before happened. My bald cap ripped as I was painting it. So this side looks great, this side ripped. So that's not good. I'm going to have to reapply the bald cap, which is not fun, but you know what? Sometimes you have to do what you have to do. I really wish I had done that before I started painting, because now there's going to be the process of trying to take off a bit of the paint so I can glue it back on. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so I got up at 5 a.m. I had a small disaster with the paint on my arms. The paint on my legs went fine, and that was great. Then I had a small disaster with the paint on my arms. Had to take all of that off and redo it. That was fun. Put on my bald cap. It looked great. It shredded at the ear. That was also fun. Put on another bald cap. It ripped. Put on a third bald cap. That's the one that's on there now. And if it comes up, we're gonna put good vibes in the universe for my bald cap. I now have a serious case of RVF, that is resting ventris face. The makeup this time only took about 6 hours, as opposed to last time when it took 7, and that includes 3 bald caps. So this means I'm gonna count it as a win. Yeah, we will get to the convention when we get to the convention, and we'll have a great time, but yeah, we're looking forward to it. Woohoo, let's go, let's go! Chewbacca always takes the time to look after me. Thanks for hyping me up from the very start, Sean. You have no idea how much your encouragement means. And Jeff has always so kindly included me in meetups run by Geeks & Co., which are always so fun. Well, here we are. Got in. Nothing has fallen off me yet. You can see, or actually you can't. You can't see that the paint is flaking off in places, but you know, the fact that you can't see that is good. So far it seems as though my bald cap is staying stuck down, which it had hecking better, and now I have that trick of gluing my ears to the bald cap. How is this going to come off? I have no idea. Is it going to come off? I sincerely doubt it. But yeah, we're having a great time. How about you, Himmel? How are you?
I'm doing well. Finding elves.
Yeah, finding elves. So yeah, we're gonna head back upstairs and keep going. We'll see how long my lightsabers last. I have a fresh set of batteries this time, and yeah, let's just get it poppin'. We are back here in our favorite hideout. No, we're not gonna tell you where it is because it's our secret. I'm kidding. Resting because, man, it has been crazy busy as we expected. My makeup continues to flake off, but some very lovely people have told me, nah, you're good. Unless you're right up on me, you can't tell. So, oh, hey, how are you guys doing? They're always awesome. I am shocked and shooketh that my bald cap is still on, considering what happened this morning, and I'm going to talk about that all day, you know, what happened this morning. It's been good so far, so hopefully we will be able to see folks at a Star Wars meetup, which I think is happening today. I think it is at 4:30. How are things, Mr. Himmel? How are things going, Himmel?
Excellent.
Excellent? Sorry, you need me to fuss with your neck wrap. There you go, Pops. Everyone says that this is the best dad ever because I have been screaming at him, business card, oh yes, Himmel. It's cruel of me to require anything of you because what are you, Himmel? Yeah, there you go.
My last adventure.
Pat, 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 pat. There you go. Whee!
Give it up for Roxanne from Kingdom Hearts.
For the first time ever, I met another Ventress, and talk about a badass. Thank you for allowing me to fangirl. I was delighted. Alright, so that is a wrap on day 2 of, I almost called it Fan Expo again, of Toronto Comicon. I don't know about my trusted handler slash hero Himmel, who is the greatest of all time, the GOAT. Let's pour one out for my dad. But I am exhausted. I am so tired. But you know what? Today was awesome. I didn't even think today was going to happen because of like what happened with the bald cap and the body paint. But you know what? It was great, and I'm so glad that we came out. We had an amazing time because the energy was just awesome. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, or I won't, or I'll just melt. Gotta take all this off now, so we'll make that happen. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye! Sunday was a day devoted to the very finest of cat burglars, Selena Kyle. So I got out my bullwhip and got down to business. Good morning and welcome to another day. I was tired on Sunday, so forgive my appearance as I transform into Selena Kyle. After putting on the wig caps, I also slicked a bit of the baby hair at my temples up and out of the way. Again, I also glued the caps down with Prozaid, as I had found it very helpful with Hathor. Then it was a similar makeup process, starting with the eyeshadow primer, then a transition shade on a fluffy brush. As this was a smoky, messy makeup look, I used only a few shades. After the transition shade, I used the same brush to first apply some grey in the crease area, and then packed in black all over the lid just below that grey. Then I blended and blended and blended and blended, including drawing the shadow all the way under my lower lashes. After color correcting those damn eye bags, I tight-lined my eyes yet again with a waterproof pencil. I also laid down some liquid liner on the upper lid to help with blending when the false lashes were applied. Then I slathered on my base foundation with my fingers and added depth by sponging on that lighter foundation with a beauty blender. With this done, I could curl my eyelashes and apply my mascara. Next up, I did my brows with an angled brush and an eyeshadow that was a little bit more natural than my Hathor/Ivy red. Then I gave myself some blush and highlighter, including highlighting my brow bone for a lifted look. And would you look at that, this time I filmed putting on my lipstick. The final step was to glue on a pair of very subtle eyelashes. Alright, so that is the Selena makeup done. As you can see, it is a very dark, very smoky look, which is fun in the morning, because it's early in the morning. It's not actually that early, it's sometime after 10. I'm now going to put on my costume, get ready. Yeah, I'm a little tired, so I'm going to move probably pretty slowly, but we'll get there when we get there, and I think we're going to have a great time. Woo! Alright, I've got everything on except my gloves, so I'm going to put those on, and then we are going to get going to day 3 of Toronto Comicon. Come here, Luke. There we go. Oh, look at him. Not to like toot my own horn or nothing, but he looks great. And definitely to sing his praises. Look at how cool his lightsaber looks. Screen accurate. Amazing. All right, let's get it poppin'. Toronto Comicon day 3. As you can see, it is pretty darn busy. It is pretty, I don't know what's going on over there, but something cool and amazing apparently. It has already been crazy. I did not think that this one would be almost like Ventress. I thought it would be more like Ivy, but the reception's been great. There was only one incident where my lovely angel, pretty nerdy Crystal, saved me from a guy who was a real jerk and who acted really awful when I wouldn't let him hold my whip. And the reason why other people can't hold my whip is it's technically a weapon and you can do damage with it, so I'm not going to let anyone else touch it for safety reasons. But I have never seen somebody throw such a fit in their lives. But everyone else has been wonderful. It's been so nice. So I'll probably do the cosplay red carpet later, but I'm shocked with how comfortable I am. It's pretty good, so yay!
It's Catwoman from the DC Comics.
So it is just after 3 p.m. I am exhausted already. This has been absolutely wild. The reason why there isn't much footage is because, well, not much footage that I've taken, my lovely handler has taken so much footage, is that it's been crazy. I did not expect that this was going to be the same level as Ventress. I thought a couple people would take photos of me, a few people, but this was like as much as Ventress, which is shocking to me. It's a lot less effort to put this on than Ventress, so Selena might be the new star of the show because less effort, much more comfortable, and I'm not going to have to scrub my entire body after this, you know, won't have to scrub white paint off me, so yeah, with sandpaper, exactly, pretty much. So that's good, so we're having a great time. It's gonna be a little bit under 2 hours and then it'll be over. Kind of sad actually, because it's been such a great weekend. In the wild with the Sorcerer Supreme and Master Luke, and then look at that, amazing. You look amazing! Stunning! I waited very patiently until we were out of the convention so I could safely wield my whip far away from anyone else. We found a nice secluded alleyway where I could give my 6-foot bullwhip, named Indiana, the workout she deserves. I had a great time, so I hope you enjoy.
That felt so good.
That's it. Toronto Comicon is a wrap. Yay. We are exhausted. We had an amazing time. My gosh, I just realized what my face looks like. I am so shiny. I am glistening. That's not going in the vlog. But yeah, oh, here comes the train. So we had an awesome time. It was wow. Just wow. I'm sure I'll have more coherent thoughts about it later, or maybe I won't. But it was great. We had an awesome time. And now we're going to go home and just try to relax. You know what my favorite thing is? More than anything? Being seated. I love being seated. Being seated is great. It's iconic. One of these things is not like the others. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me on my adventures at Toronto Comicon 2024. If you'd like to see other videos like this, I've vlogged a few other conventions, and I plan to vlog many, many more. I also have videos about how I make my props and costumes, including my historical costumes. So if you'd like to check those out, they're all on my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. And a like, comment, or subscribe here on YouTube is something that I would really appreciate if you feel so inclined. But until we meet once more, thanks so much, take care, and I'll see you next time.